Good evening, Ken at Tortoise Capital, nightly strategy podcast for September 20th, 2023. We'll start with the 30-minute hybrid swing portfolio. Today's results with the Fed announcement really proves the principle of this approach. This should have been a day of big wins for you. So we'll start with Alcoa on 30-minute charts. Here was yesterday's supported spring crossing. There was a gap up move, took the dragon exit for 4R. AI, no trade. Amazon closed the long position from yesterday for an R, took the PSAR flip for an intraday 1R, no overnight risk. Caterpillar, massive trade on the gap up and fail. Standard risk, about 4R. That's going to break even more tomorrow. Good chance of that, but I didn't want the overnight risk. Cliff, we exited the COTA 2 entry from yesterday for 3R. CVS closed the long COTA 2 for an R. Dish Network, no trade. Devon Energy took the collapsing dragon for 3R, no overnight risk. Electronic Arts, no trade. Emerging Markets took the PSAR flip for 4R. That's going to fail even bigger tomorrow. Ethereum continues to decay, no trade. Mexico, we exited our 3-position long for about 12R with a standard exit at the PSAR. Brazil, no trade. Intel added a second position to yesterday's collapsing dragon, took the exit at the end of the day just to raise cash and reduce overnight risk. That's about 4R. International paper, no trade, although the short was obvious and straightforward. Real estate initiated a PSAR flip holding 3R. That's one I will hold over. It's such a narrow non-growth sector along with the regional banks that this is one I think has more weakness tomorrow. Real estate, the regional banks, 2R and ready to collapse further. Mattel, no trade. McDonald's took the SSC long, took a standard 2R exit at the edge of the dragon. Merck, no trade. Microsoft closed the long at for 1R, took the PSAR flip for 4R intraday. That one could be a value play tomorrow. Didn't want to hold overnight risk in case of a buying pressure. Marijuana, covered the short for 2R at the near the open. Nvidia missed the short on this one, but we had plenty of positions. PBW also missed this one, just massive sell-off in the last hour. Should have been on it. Span of control. Rivian, no trade. The S&P, you can see that painful selling in the last 2 hours. That's what the 30-minute chart is really made for, is to be able to exploit that kind of intraday move in a deliberate way. Tesla closed the SSC long for 2R. And then U.S. Steel, yesterday's COTA 2, we closed that for about a third of an R at the dragon exit. So this should have been a day of quick and easy wins for you. If it wasn't, you should consider taking the foundations course. One of the sniper trades of the day, this is Alcoa. This was a gap up, the OR3, standard OR3 entry. Dragon exit at the PSAR for 3R. COTA 2 continuation re-entry for a scratch. second Kata 2 for 3R, PSAR exit, and then flat for the rest of the day. This was a sniper trade in AI. Here was the OR3, standard OR3 entry, half an R win short for 1.5 R with the PSAR exit, PSAR flip for a third of an R, wait for the Fed announcement, PSAR flip, collapsing dragon front run here for 2 more R, and no overnight risk, just right by the numbers following the rules. All right, we'll shift to the traders review. Here's Lou with an OR3 perfectly played in Alcoa and brings home 3R. Great exit after 2 legs up right at the edge of the dragon, perfectly played. Rad gets a nice bite at the apple here for 1.6R in the Euro futures and takes his exit right at resistance. Well done. 2 nice plays in Canadian futures. Great short right out the get go from in the lean hogs for 1.8. And in live cattle, I think we should have had a second re-entry here. That would improve that second trade. But net positive for the day. Looking at Tim. Looking at Tim here, he gets the quick exits on Intel. This should be a stop and reverse with an exit here and then a PSAR flip. This one needed to stay with it. He had a span of control issue there. Gets well played here in Alcoa on that early move and is minimizing his losses when he's not aligned. So that's good work. This is MGM. Gets a taste, gets 2 excellent trades and a fourth trade for 2.4, nets 2.4 for the day. Nicely done, mostly on the long side on a day the market was down, so you know that he's tuned in to the moves that are available. Jose's are typically not going to work on a day that was big down like this, but he does minimize losses in Apple with a quick scratch, controlled exit here in Amazon, in Micron also. Here's a trade in quickly scaling out here in Rivian. This is George. That's good work. Take a look at how I did that work in the afternoon sell-offs. There's some techniques in there for you to learn. Does a great job bringing home 1.3R here on the grind in Devon. And that's a great exit for your mental state with no overnight risk. You'll come to really appreciate the power of that. All right, that's everything we got for today. We'll get this published and posted. Keep firing.